Good day to all of you. It's December 9, 2020. It's a Wednesday. Welcome to the program Agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and bago ko po makaligtaan, Merry Christmas. Forgive me, I know some of you are going, Cito, hindi pa Christmas. In the Philippines, Christmas starts in September, and in any case, why not? Why not just, kick this can around, this 2020, misery. Let's just kick that can around and let's just put in some good spirits and humor into our situation. Kasi alam mo po, kung ating didibdibin, lahat ng indultong nararanasan nating lahat, nako, baka malasing na lang tayo. But we all have our fair share. In any case, it's a Wednesday and napansin ko medyo itong umagan to, today, it seems to be like a faster day than normal. I seem to be like catching up and looking at the clock. But today you are going to be hearing from a number of people here on the program as we interview among many Representative Enrico Pineda of the One Pacman Party List and Representative Michael Aglipay of the DIWA Party List. Kasi baka sabihin, ba't pinuano mo yung mga congressman? May maganda pong balita. They are pushing for this security of tenure bill. Now, from what I understand or the impression I got, it is supposed to endo. Okay? Yung bang kukunin ka sa trabaho, pagkatapos makakatrabaho ka lang ng yung contractual, you get a job only for about 4 or 5 months and then they let you go. They don't fire you, they just say end of contract kasi they're avoiding the need to hire you on a regular basis, hire you so that you will be paying, they will be paying SSS, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth, etc. So we will speak with the two congressmen regarding that. Totoo ba ito? Magkakatotoo ba itong sinasabi or baka naman na-misread ko lang. In any case, after Congressman Pineda and Congressman Aglipay, we will speak with Mayor Joy Belmonte, get an update from the good mayor of Quezon City kasi nako po ay talagang hands on deck. I remember a time when COVID-19 started, people ganged up on her, beat up on her, bullied her on Facebook. But now that everything, kumbaga parang tinitingnan lang ni Joy kung ano nangyayari, paano gagalaw, biglang, okay, game on. And Quezon City has been doing quite well. In any case, after that, we will speak naman with Alan Tanjusay, another regular on agenda. He's the spokesperson, by the way, of the Trade Union Congress of the Philippines. He gives us good insights on labor issues and concerns. Siya naman na magre-respond dito sa sinusulong or the proposal of Pineda and Aglipay regarding the security of tenure bill. Ayan po, no? So, do join us this morning. And of course, I will be doing my commentaries and my monologues. Pagpasensya no niya. Alam nyo, hindi lang naman si Presidente Duterte tumatanda. Si Kuya Cito tumatanda na rin. And as people get old, we I don't know, I guess it's natural. We just, many people will call it preaching or lecturing or sermonizing. But, look at it from a different perspective. It is the old sharing with the young. Kasi kami po, marami kaming natutunan na pagdaanan. We have learned so much in life that we don't just want to take to the grave. We want to share with you people out there so that you can learn from what we learned, appreciate what we went through, and also take advantage of the knowledge, because wisdom is available. Sabi nga ng Bible, for those of you who lack wisdom, ask God for wisdom who gives it generously. In any case, speaking of knowledge, wisdom, let's go to information. Let's get some information from the front page of the Philippine Star. Ayan po ang laking picture niyang nasa upper left hand ng Philippine Star front page, and that picture is the photo of the first person to get the Pfizer BioNTech COVID vaccine, Margaret Keenan, 90 years old, at the University Hospital in Coventry, Central England, and the vaccine was being administered by a Filipina nurse. Bakit? May iba pa bang nurse na puro Pilipina na yata? Yeah, her name is May Parsons. Ewan ko kung anong relationship niya dun sa ating kaibigang sila Sunny Parsons, Nelson Parsons Nebula. Unfortunately, Sunny, I think it was Sunny who passed away because of COVID or something. Anyway, yun po, picture of the first person to be vaccinated. So yung headline nga ng Philippine Star, V-Day in UK. Kasi for those of you who may not be familiar, V-Day refers to another happening in history. It was during World War II where they called it Victory Day. Okay, Victory Day, the victory of the Allied forces against the Nazi forces. And now it is V-Day in UK, Pfizer vaccine rolled out. Okay. Meanwhile, President Rodrigo Duterte is eyeing, hindi naman minamata, tinatanaw, pinag-iisipan, eyeing free COVID tests for Filipinos. Hi, tagal, Mr. President, noon pa sinasabi yan, kailangan po natin yan. That is the missing link in the fight against COVID, because we keep listing down the people who have COVID. We keep quarantining the general population, isolating the sick or suspected, treating the seriously ill, pero we are not testing. Ngayon po, ayan, mga kaibigan, why is this concern? There won't be any tourism. No matter how hard, and she really works hard. Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat works, and sila Bong Bengzon and all the tourism industry. No one wants to go. Why? Mahal eh. Even at 5,000, if there's 2 or 3 or 4 of you in a family, you can't afford to travel kasi mahal na yung test, mahal yung flights, tapos very restricted. Kung babawasan natin yung certain cost, biyahe tao, ano ba naman yung magpasundo tayo sa ilong? Pero yung magpapabutas ka sa bulsa para lang makapunta sa beach, medyo, wag na lang, masyado mahal. Okay. So, President Duterte also urged the public to skip holiday festivities. Kumbaga kung kayo po magpapasko o magse-celebrate nitong Kapaskuhan, kanya-kanya na lang muna tayo. Wala naman sigurong pagdududa that we all love each other and that we are all thinking of each other. And if you really want to have that holiday feel, ditadtarin mo ng Christmas decoration yung bahay mo, magpatugtog ka ng one to sawa ng Christmas carols, and call up everybody, text everybody, go on Messenger. But seriously, we don't want what's happening abroad happening here. There has been a resurgence, second, third wave, and it's bad. As in, it's really bad. Worse than on the first round. Okay? So medyo mag-ingat po tayo. In any case, moving forward, eto pa, the President is also thinking of implementing a total firecracker ban. Well, I think we were headed in that direction when President Duterte came into office. He imposed that in Davao, and now he wants to and he has basically made the sentiments felt, and the PNP and the DILG has somewhat tempered the level of firecrackers, nagka-regulation, etc. So, hindi imposible yan. Although, even in the biggest nations in the world, kahit papano, meron pa rin paputok. Basta, kumbaga controlled, state-sponsored, or local government managed, pwede na yun. In any case, okay, we move forward. At the top of the page of the Philippine Star, and still from President Duterte, he says, there will be no more Christmas ceasefire with the Reds. Yung bang taunang pisman sa mga NPA, sa mga kalaban ng gobyerno, mukhang sabi niya, sawang-sawa na ako kakapisman. Okay, at the lower part of the page, the President on Monday washed his hands over the killing of Los Baños Mayor Cesar Perez, saying that the narco list is not his and was merely sent to him by law enforcement agencies. Okay. Of course, we will presume that the president has nothing to do with it. But perhaps now that the president is being linked to it because of that narco list and because the victim's name was on that supposed list, perhaps the president should look into it. Kasi nakakatakot po Malagay ka sa listahan, ibibigay sa presidente. Yung presidente, babasahin yung listahan. Biglang yung nasa listahan namamatay. What does that tell you? Someone in the loop is using this as a means to justify what they want to do. Whether or not the person is guilty, whether or not the person is involved in drugs, alam niyo po, mahirap yata yung tumba ng tumba. Tapos baka mamaya, Mr. President, ginagamit pa kayo ng ilang tao dyan. Siguro with the new Chief PNP, si Chief PNP de Bolsinas, medyo dapat siguro pag-aralan sitwasyon kasi kahit si Chief PNP napaparatangan nung nasa Visayas siya or Mindanao ba yun, rin siya, mabagsik din siya sa mga drug campaign, anti-drug campaign. So, well, I won't dwell on it too long, but people are dying, and these people who are being killed are people whose names are on the list. So go figure. In any case, lastly, some Filipino celebrities make it to Forbes Asia's 100 Digital Star list. Congratulations! That's all I can say kasi parang making it to a celebrity list nowadays, talking about the lifestyle of the rich and famous. I'm sorry, I like to see good things. I like to hear good news. Pero, celebrating wealth and luxury and lifestyle, parang, teka, medyo let's tone that down. Medyo temper it. Sabi nga kasi parang daming naghihirap, hindi lang sa pera. There are a lot of people literally suffering. And, to read about the lifestyle of the rich and famous, it's not in good taste po. In any case, let's go to the business at hand, the more serious matters in life. Many Filipinos are affected by what is referred to as endo or end of contract. They work and then they can only work for 5 months, and after that they are released or not released but kumbaga they are terminated, fired, whatever, because the employer does not want to be responsible of regularizing or making them permanent. mahaba po itong proseso. Ang problema dito, some people feel na, or are of the opinion that pag ang tao ay ganyan ng ganyan ang buhay, hindi siya makaasa. They cannot aspire. They cannot aspire to buy stuff because they don't know up to how long they will have money. They cannot aspire to save because they don't know how long they can do, have this job. They cannot aspire to have homes, etc., etc. Kumbaga, yung buhay nila time in, time out lang at nagbibilang ka ng mga buwan. And that has been called the curse of progress in the Philippines. Some people say, pasalamat kayo that there are companies giving jobs. Yes, there are companies giving jobs, but it is creating a false sense of stability. It is creating a false economy because it is an economy that only prospers the employer, but not necessarily the employee. Yes, they have jobs. Yes, they have food on the table, but only for 5 months. And then they have to go look for something else. Anyway, let's go to our first batch of guests. Congressman Enrico Pineda, one Pacman party list, and Congressman Michael Aglipay of the DIWA party list. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
Okay.
Tito.
Kung Michael, yung camera mo mukhang naka-off pa. But in any case, welcome. I can hear Kong Mike, but there I see Congressman Enrico Pineda. Parang namumukhaan ko itong maman to, pero yung pangalan Enrico. Enrico ba talaga ang pangalan itong congressman na ito?
Okay, hello.
Hello,
Hi,
Congressman.
can you hear me now?
Okay.
You were coming a little bit choppy.
Okay.
But before anything, Cito, I just want to say hello also to fellow vintage car enthusiasts in the store.
Actually, binibiro lang kita. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually teasing Congressman Enrico Pineda because he is not known as Enrico Pineda. He is known as Eric Pineda. Alamat sa pagre-restore ng mga lumang sasakyan at barkada ni Senator Manny Pacquiao. Welcome, Eric. Good morning.
Maraming salamat, Cito. Thank you for inviting us here.
Well, no, you need to be invited to the program because you and Congressman Aglipay, because it has been a long time since anybody has said or done anything about the curse of end of contract or tawag ba nila noon yung 5 months lang contractualization.
Labor-only contracting.
Yeah, what are you proposing? What are you and Congressman Aglipay proposing?
Well, this has been going on for quite some time, even during the last 17th Congress. It was approved in the lower house and also in the upper chamber, but the bill that was submitted to the president was the Senate version, which I think is much milder. Eventually, the president vetoed the bill. That's why during the start of the 18th Congress, when I assumed the chairmanship of the House Committee on Labor and Employment, that was my the task given to me by Speaker Cayetano was to fast track this bill. Mm-hmm. But it cannot be fast tracked because there's so many concerned the source persons from the labor, the source persons from the employers' side, from DOLE. So it took us about 6 months of really rigorous committee hearings, and we were able to finally pass it. I think that was March of this year. Mm-hmm. The Security Tenure Bill passed my committee, and it was taken up during the time of Speaker Velasco, and we were able to pass it on third and final reading.
Okay, let me welcome Congressman Michael Aglipay. Congressman, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Cito.
Can you repeat the question? You're not coming in clear, Cito.
No, I wanted to welcome Michael Aglipay to the program. Congressman, magandang umaga sa iyo, Congressman Aglipay.
I'm sorry, but you're still not.
Magandang umaga po, Cito.
Okay, Congressman Aglipay, ano ang mga pertinent features of the Security of Tenure Act na pinupropose ninyo ni Kong Eric?
Ito pong Bill 7036 which passed on third reading last week plans to strike a balance between the employers and the employees' concerns. As we all know that the President vetoed the version of this Bill 17 Congress because it was leaning so much to in favor of the workers. So now, as Chairman Pineda said, this is a balance between the two sides, and every word, including the definition of job-only contracting, was debated to the single word because we wanted everybody to strike a compromise. And the features of this bill is that it will end job-only contracting, meaning that if you are a business focusing on, for example, transport, you cannot subcontract your drivers and helpers. You need to employ them as regular employees. But there are few exceptions to this job-only prohibition, contracting prohibition. Also, to strike a compromise to the employer sector, we allowed the fixed-term employment, meaning like seasonal workers for the construction workers and project hires. So those are and OFWs are allowed fixed-term employment. So that was not found in the previous bill, Cito. So we allowed fixed-term employment.
Okay, Congressman Pineda, my question to you, Kong Eric, how confident are you that this bill, after it passes Congress, will pass through the Senate and that President Duterte will not veto it like he did the first version?
But we're very, very confident that this version will now meet the requirement that the President gave us. And we really consulted, especially the Secretary of the Department of Labor, Sylvester Bello. I think the President also gave him an idea of how he wants this bill to be written. And I think it's very fair. And I would say this is really something that parang pamasko namin sa ating mga manggagawa, 44 million workers. At least this bill will ensure that if your job is part of the core business of the company, you will be regularized. So ang pwede lang talagang kunin po ng mga employers on a contract basis are, let's say, you're a department store, you need security guards, so that's part of your core business. So you can get security guards from a service contractor. Pero parang ano to it snowballs because yung service contractor naman, that's his core business, is to provide security agency. So kailangan niya regularize ngayon yung mga security guards po niya.
When you say regularize, does this mean that yung empleyado ay sweldo rin ng nasa batas? Kasi marami ring nare-regular, especially nowadays, na may trabaho ka nga pero ano ka lang, 70% of salary ka lang.
Yes. You will be assured of receiving the proper base pay. Kahit naman yung regular, they still receive the proper base pay. And also the benefits that goes with the regular worker. Except that if you're a non-regular worker, a contractual worker, gaya na sabi mo nga, Cito, yun yung end of contract, So they will terminate your services, hanap kayo ulit ng panibagong trabaho. At least now, if you're, let's say, a sales girl, or let's say you're a cook, and you're working for a quick serve restaurant, kailangan ka nila, part of the business is ng quick serve yan. So talagang i-regularize ka na ngayon. Hindi pwedeng bigyan ka lang ng contractual work.
Okay, Congressman Aglipay, what is the reaction of the business owners? Kasi may mga nagsasabing business owners, pag pinilit yung regularization, maraming mawawala ng trabaho kasi the cost of employment will be higher.
Cito, I think the pandemic already made the great equalizer happen, meaning that it favored already this bill was too late to save our contractual workers. Those who served 18 years, 5 years, 6 years that are contractual and repeated contracts during that duration did not get separation pay when they were removed. So I think the employers now were given a clean slate. So that means that
Okay, I think we lost the signal or
a
audio.
little more because they have a clean slate to hire new temporary workers under this law, because this law is not retroactive if it will be passed.
Okay, so how will that balance things out? Kasi on one side, yung mga employer sasabihin na nako, mas marami kaming babayaran ngayon. It might mean that they will hire less people. Okay, I think Eric, Kong Eric, could you just catch the ball on this one? Many employers will tell you that, well, with the added cost of employment, etc., we'll just cut down on the number of employees.
Hello?
Okay, we got a problem. You can't hear you, Eric. Are you on mute? You might be on mute. Okay, I'll ask the technical team to sort that out. But ngayon po, no, medyo mahirap to make up kasi ang dami talagang anggulo doon sa Security of Tenure Act, which means to address yung bang balance of interest. There are employers who don't want to be stuck with the burden of having so many employees. Although, sabi nga ni Congressman Aglipay, nabawasan na yung number of employees kasi na-wipe out sa COVID. Pero ang tanong, under the current situation, fresh start. Fresh start daw fresh start daw ang mga employer, pero anong start ang ibig nating sabihin? Let's try our guests again, Congressman Eric and Congressman Michael Aglipay. Okay, Kong Eric, can you hear me now? Can't hear you, no audio. No audio. Welcome to today's reality, mga lolo na kaming mga lolong nangangapa dito sa technology na ito. I am just blessed with Team Agenda and our team in TV5 in Signal TV, because they basically cover me. They have my back, and if something goes wrong, I just go, oops, guys, please catch. In any case, we'll go for a break, and when we return, hopefully, makabalik sila, and if not, we will try to get them on another date, because talagang importante itong Security of Tenure Act, a proposed bill by Congressman Enrico Pineda and Congressman Michael Aglipay to put an end to this end of contract phenomenon or malpractice. Kung saan po magtatrabaho kayo ng 5 buwan, tapos tatanggalin kayo sa trabaho or sasabihin sa inyo, finish contract na kayo, para makaiwas yung employer na umabot kayo ng 6 months or beyond at mapipilitan silang mag-permanent status kayo o irregularize kayo. Okay, we'll go for a break. We'll be right back here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program Agenda. I'm Cito Beltran and you are watching us via Signal TV channels 8 and 250 as well as via facebook.com/OneNewsPH and sa YouTube One News PH. Okay, let's go back to our guests. First up, let's bring in Congressman Michael Aglipay kasi mukhang mas maganda yung signal dun sa lugar niya. Okay, Kong Mike, back to you. How do you see this thing going? Kasi okay, may bill na kayo. Yung bill na ito, sabi mo, balanse. Pantay para sa employer at sa employee. Paki-explain nga kung paano naging mas pantay ito kesa dun sa bill na nabito ni Presidente.
Cito, during last week, I sponsored the bill on the floor for second reading. And both the Makabayan Bloc, who represents the left side of labor, they already withdrew from this bill because their proposal was to criminalize violations of job-only contracting, which is too leaning to the left. It's not feasible. And the employer side, they wanted to allow any type of contracting, meaning it will just leave us with what we started with. So better na lang not to pass this bill if they wanted to maintain what was going on. So the balance was that this fixed-term employment that is not allowed during the last Congress's version is now allowed. So construction workers, seasonal workers like those for Christmas in the department store, sales lady can be allowed. Or restaurants when there is a high volume during Christmas or other seasons will be allowed. So this is the compromise that was given to the employers, Cito.
Okay, what happens to recidivist? Yung bang paulit-ulit na ginagawan lang ng paraan, hinihilot lang or sasabihin, well, hindi masyadong maganda itong performance. Or you mentioned earlier na kinukuha yung trabahante o trabahador from a service provider. Kumbaga, sinasabi nila, hindi naman namin empleyado yan. May mga nagdadala niyan dito.
Actually, that is the part of this bill that was the most contentious because it is now allowed to subcon the workers for those that are not inherent part of the business. For example, in the Cebu Pacific, that the flight attendants and the pilots cannot be subcontracted. They have to be regular after 6 months. But the tellers counter or customer service in the call center can be allowed to be outsourced to manpower agencies, and the manpower agencies should treat them as regular employees and give them full benefits and retirement pay if they so retire. So that is
Okay.
set up.
Okay, I think the biggest area, the areas where this is a big issue would be factories, malls. Ewan ko kung ano pa ba yung ibang medyo maramihan ng empleyado. But what about those? Kasi sabi mo core, a part of the core, a core part of the business or a core. But yung mga sales girls o salesmen, kung wala yon, tatakbo ba yung mall? Pero in many cases, they are subcontracted.
Actually, Cito, that is it's now, I think it's up to the DOLE to have the IRR, which are allowed in specific form, which is not inherent to the part of the company. They will decide on this, and the violation, they will be meted a penalty of per individual, per worker that they hire and not regularized, they will be meted out of by the DOLE. So I cannot answer that in specific, but with regards to the sales lady, the contention of the malls is that the malls will still be able to operate without the sales lady, because they have sales managers and sales supervisors that are part of their regular employees. So that is their contention for their part on this concern of yours.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I mean, many times yung mga shoppers naman, they just take care of themselves and then they go to the counter.
Yeah.
It is not normal. You don't normally go look for someone to make yaya. In any case, thank you very much, Congressman Michael Aglipay. I will now shift to Congressman Eric Pineda. Pero on a better day, I hope to bring...
Pwede ba magbati? Pwede ba magbati, Sito?
Go ahead.
Happy birthday, Congressman Eric Pineda. It's his birthday
Aba!
today.
Okay, sige, papakawalan na kita, Congressman Michael, at ako ay magtatanong kung merong magpapasebo ng labi natin today. Thank you very much, Congressman Aglipay, for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, wala pa. Okay, thank you very much. Nawawala. Kanya naman pala, erratic yung signal ni Congressman Eric Pineda kasi may mga, birthday pala nung tao kayo naman team agenda. Hindi ninyo tinanong, hindi ninyo naamoy? Hindi nyo naamoy yung lechon? Pag si Eric Pineda nag-birthday, piyesta yan, lalo na doon sa kanyang garahe ng maraming kotse. In any case, we will try to get him back, but if not, we will invite Congressman Eric Pineda to another episode of Agenda because ayun po no what the impression I got was that when this whole proposed bill, itong Security of Tenure Act goes through the Senate and is passed by the President, magkakaroon pa rin ng IRR. So the ideal, yung kumbaga yung magandang version ay yung batas. Pero magkakaalaman kung yung IRR ay tapat sa intensyon ng batas. Because right now, ang sinasabi nga ng mas nakakarami, wala, ganun din yan. Sabi ng mga critics, nagsasabi, kasi ganun din yan. Sasabihin lang naman ng kumpanya, hindi core, essential, hindi yan yung pinaka, yung mga salespersons na yan o yung mga empleyado na yan, hindi sila yung buhay at puso ng aming negosyo. Pwede kaming magpatuloy kahit wala sila. Pag dineclare na gano'n, pwedeng ipa-contract o subcontract yung mga empleyado na yun. So katulad yung salespeople, security, mga delivery, mga kargador, etc. Patay-patay tayo dyan. Diyan mag-uumpisa yung basag ulo. Kasi ang mangyayari po dyan, palusutan na lang ang mangyayari sa iba. I mean, I'm not challenging or questioning the bill. I believe that the bill the intention of the bill is to rationalize emotions and interest. Kasi mainit na talaga ang dugo ng mga nasa labor because sa totoo naman dehado rin naman talaga yung mga maliit na yung sweldo. Pagkatapos no work, no pay. Pagkatapos no, ewan ko kung may 13-month pay. Paano magkakaroon ng 13-month pay yun na 5 months ka lang nakatrabaho, hindi ka nga regular. Kasi I remember when I was working in a big company and I was not a regular employee, I was a talent. Pagdating ng Pasko, itong buwan na ito, itong mga araw na ito, ganitong petsa, nakikita mo yung mga katabi mo, binibigyan na ng kung ano-anong mga sack of rice, meron silang mga take away, mga basket, pagkatapos may 13-month pay sila, tapos pinag-uusapan na nila, saan tayo kakain, saan tayo gigimik? Tapos kaming mga talent, doon sa dati, no, sa isang pinagtrabaho ko, wala. Kasi unfortunately, we're talents. Sa akin, ano ba naman yun? Kasi sabi nga nila, angkor ka naman so okay ka na. No problem, I have no problems with it. Pero pag nakikita ko yung mga iba, yung mga hindi regular, yung mga, kumbaga sabi kahapon ni Asik Ed Galbante, yung mga job order, luhaan silang umuuwi pag Pasko kasi yung mga katropa nila, yung iba nga ayaw nang sumama sa party, sumasama lang, baka makatsamba kahit papano makatabla sa raffle. Pero marami po yung mga nasa subcontract. You know, I would challenge employers, okay? I would just challenge employers, to open yourselves to this experience and find out what these job cons or this subcontract people or five-month contract people are going through. Subukan nyo lang, alamin nyo lang, ano ba yung buhay mo? Hindi not necessarily your employees, but if someone else's employees. Paano yung Pasko sa'yo? Paano yung buhay na 5 buwan ka lang nakakatrabaho tapos tineterminate ka na? Okay. Malungkot po yun. I promise yung malungkot yun. Okay, let's move on to our next topic. Masayang topic naman. Kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo noon, at the start of the pandemic, one mayor who got really bullied, beat on or talagang pinag-initan siya, minasama siya, was Mayor Joy Belmonte. Kasi ang daming papunang ginawa sa kanya. Pero ngayon, iba ang arrive ng mayor. Let's say hello to Mayor Joy Belmonte of Quezon City. Mayor Joy, good morning.
Hi,
Ayun, okay, Mayor Joy.
and good morning to all our televiewers.
Okay, I was just commenting at the start of the show and now introducing you that when this pandemic started in the Philippines, you got beaten up badly on social media. Ang dami nag-criticize sa'yo, sinasabi anong ginagawa ni Joy Belmonte, nasaan ang aming mayor, etc. Pero ngayon, mukhang silence of the lambs na yung mga bumabanat sa'yo, and Quezon City is doing so well. How are you and how are things in Quezon City?
Well, with regards to the COVID crisis, we're doing very well, Cito. We experienced a slight upturn, a slight spike a few weeks ago, no? So from the average weekly active cases of about 60 a day, bale, naging siguro mga 80, but that's not really so bad given the size of our city, and I was able to trace also the source of this slight increase, and I can easily trace them to two events. Two institutions had some outbreaks, and we've now been in touch with them and been assisting them, and also we've also increased testing, so we do about 5,000 to 6,000 and sometimes 7,000 tests a week. So that means we're finding all of these positives. And then our contact tracing has improved to 30:1. So that's 30 contact trace individuals per positive patient. So actually, the upturn is not so bad.
Yeah, Mayor, let me just interrupt. Yung testing, no? Kasi the President has already said on national TV that he is seriously considering free testing for all Filipinos. Para dun sa hindi nakakaintindi, could you explain, for those who don't understand or appreciate this, how is this benefiting Quezon City when you test 5,000 people on a regular basis? How is this beneficial to the city administration and to the people of Quezon City?
Well, I don't think that it's advisable to just test people randomly. At the
Mhm.
moment, we are working with Project ARC that is led by Joey Concepcion, and we are doing pool testing for asymptomatic persons who are high risk. Now, these are persons who work in the markets, our market vendors, our tricycle drivers, our GP drivers, perhaps employees that are always on the field. And the pool testing allows us to save resources, no, and at the
Mm.
same time identify whether there is a positive person. But to just test random individuals, people who are probably not exposed, people who stay home, I don't think that's advisable. There are certain groups of people that should be tested, and there are those that I think that unless they are exposed or exhibit symptoms, it's not necessary to test them.
Okay, what about the notion or the idea that we should give free testing? Because I pointed out that that would definitely help tourism dahil yung mga gustong bumiyahe, nagpipigil dahil if you are three in a family or four in a family, that's 15 to 30,000 back to back. What is your reaction to the idea of free tests for those who need to be tested?
Here in Quezon City, already do free testing. All of the tests I mentioned to you, the
Mhm.
5 to 7,000 a week, those are all free testing. No? And these are actually individuals, many of them that are contact traced. So therefore, we test them for free. And others are people who feel they might have been exposed. So we also test them for free. And some
Mm.
are people who just want to have peace of mind. And after interviewing them, of course, that we have to do that. No? The protocol is to ask questions, etc. Because, as I said, it might not be necessary to test them if there is no evidence that they've been under any risk at all. But those who feel that they have been and there is some evidence that they could be, we do free testing for them. So that is not a problem here in Quezon City.
Okay, shifting gears. So you're managing COVID. I yesterday the Philippine Star featured three big buses, city buses that was being launched by your government in Quezon City. Could you explain the rationale behind that? Kasi may mga tao nagtatanong, oh, pinuri mo nga sito, pero bakit kailangan sila pang maglabas ng bus? Hindi ba ang dami namang bus, etc. Can please share this with us?
First of all, ito po ay mga bus na kasama sa programang Quezon City Bus. No? So it's our city bus system.
Mm.
The routes we have chosen are 8 routes na hindi trinatraverse ng mga normal na buses. No? So hindi natin nagiging kakompetensya yung mga buses na sumisingil. Ito yung mga rota na in-identify natin na exclusive sa city bus system natin. No? So number one
Mhm.
yan, walang kailangan ikabahala yung mga buses na may prangkisa kasi yung aming mga buses will not fly your routes. That was very clear from the start. We do not want to jeopardize their incomes.
What are
Second,
those Mayor, what are those routes? Pasensya ka na kasi magandang idea yung sinabi mo na hindi ito normally dinadaanan ng mga bus. Ano yung mga routes na yun? Kahit just a few.
just a few. Well, there are 8 routes, no, Sito.
Mm.
And then hindi kasi pwedeng tumigil basta-basta kung saan mo gusto. There are specific points where the bus stops and picks up passengers. Parang sa Boston, parang sa Amerika,
Mhm.
yun yung ating ginaya dito, no. So some routes would probably include General Luis to City Hall. Puro City Hall lang naman yung end point o kaya yung beginning point. So vice versa lagi. So may
Mm.
QC Hall to Cubao and vice versa to Litex, then vice versa, Robinson's Magnolia, vice versa, etc. No? Pero we chose routes na hindi talaga siya dinadaanan. No?
Aha.
So I with the blessing of the LTFRB. And these are free buses.
Point to point yan. Kumbaga, hindi they're not passing in all areas, picking up so many passengers, competing with other PUVs.
Yes, and also for Shopee. Can I can I hear the question again? I'm sorry.
It's a point to point. They
Yes.
don't pick up passengers along the way.
They pick up passengers along the way, but there are specific points only where the bus can stop and where you will wait for the bus to come. So it's like again the model in possibly in Boston, in Seattle,
Yeah.
and the purpose of this is to provide free transportation to our citizens. And why did we think of that? It's because we believe that public transport is something that we should offer as a service to our people, and not just public transport, but reliable and predictable public transport. So there are minutes. You can really actually predict that in 15 minutes the bus will come. Or if traffic is bad, at the most 20 minutes the bus will come. So namin. And most of all, and it is free not just for Quezon City residents, but it is free for all, no? Inuunang dalawang araw, we're on our third day lang, and syempre we're still trying to assess if the pickup points are correct or ideal, no? Pero ang unang dalawang araw, people were so surprised because hindi sila makapaniwala na libre ito. Sabi naman namin, pwede naman kasi kaya lang people never really explored this possibility. Leaders don't explore it, and now that we have, I think it's a very good idea kasi una hindi aarangkada, hindi dangerous yung mga bus kasi walang boundary, no? May sweldo sila. No, tapos dahil contract of service siya, it's bidded out, the buses are safe, they are new, in fact. There are all kinds of terms of reference that we put in to ensure the safety of the passengers. No? So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the success of this program. I think it is going to be a very good one.
Alam ko, Mayor, may meeting ka ng 9 o'clock, so bibilisan ko na lang and kahit short answers na lang. You
Yes, sir.
are discussing the issue of U-turn slots along EDSA within the boundaries of Quezon City and the opening of certain intersections. What is the current status of those discussions?
Yes, so I'm happy that you brought that up. I've written letters to the DOTR, the MMDA, the LTFRB. Of course, I would like to stress that I and here in Quezon City, we support the program of the president and of the national government, which is the carousel busway. No, but having said that, it has caused a lot of traffic. In fact, worsening traffic in many parts of our city. So I just wrote a letter of appeal, and I'm happy to announce that within this week, the general manager of the MMDA, Mr. Jojo Garcia, and I will be sitting down to discuss how some of these recommendations I have made can be addressed, and if not, he will propose other possible solutions. So I would like to reassure the people of Quezon City that this particular issue is being addressed and will be solved in some way very soon.
Okay, and then what about the movement of people of Quezon City during the holidays? Kasi napansin ko, medyo dumadami na yung taong lumalabas as the Christmas season approaches, Christmas Day approaches, 17 days na lang yata. Meron bang restrictions dyan sa Quezon City?
Well, Cito, following the consensus of all of the Metro Manila mayors na hindi pa rin pwedeng lumabas ang mga minors at saka over 65s, the Quezon City government has actually passed an ordinance to make sure that this is institutionalized. So kapag may lumabas within the age groups na ipinagbabawal, may multa po tayo sa mga magulang at may multa din po tayo sa mga establishments. That is one. That's one way of being strict about it. The second is we have increased the number of enforcers to make sure that everyone is wearing their face masks and face shields, and all of the local ordinances that we have passed in relation to the COVID crisis are going to be addressed. No? And then third, of course, is we've released guidelines also to make sure that people early on, as early as December 1, know how to celebrate Christmas this year at hindi siya normal Christmas. No, we will encourage them to just celebrate with their immediate families, if not their immediate household, do virtual parties, etc. And we are doing a lot of promotions on online shopping and online delivery. No, so these are some of the things that we're doing. There's a lot that we're doing, but one thing that I'm proud to say, here in Quezon City, we have many green spaces, we have many parks, no, and I
Yeah.
also think it's quite oppressive when people who are not very affluent are forced to stay in very small quarters. In fact, it might even be more dangerous because walang ventilation. So we actually spruced up all of our parks, and we are encouraging people to go to the parks, no, to spend some of their holiday time enjoying nature, and that's something that
Okay.
I think Quezon City can be very proud of.
Last question ko na lang, Mayor Joy. You mentioned green spaces, parks. Kasi marami sa mga plantito, plantitas, ang puntahan, they go to Quezon City. Diyan sa may EDSA, sa may Quezon Circle, sa may UP. Eh sabi ko, ano kaya ang sitwasyon? I haven't gone. I really haven't gone. What is the situation as far as those, because you're also known for bazaars in the City Hall. And in other places. What is the status of those places now?
Well, the Quezon Memorial Circle is very open. As you know, it's very big. So we don't have any experiences of crowding there. Whenever there are, let's say, bazaars, or people are selling plants, we make sure na magkakalayo ang mga iba't ibang mga nagbebenta, hindi magkakatabi. No? At marami po tayong marshals sa ating po mga open spaces na nagbabantay talaga at nag-ensure ng social distancing. We are very strict with these things sa Cito. No? So, I think dito sa Quezon City, hindi naman kailangan mangambay yung mga taong bayan kasi yung mga malls, yung mga establishments are very cooperative. Yan ang isang bagay because we always call meetings with them, explain, etc. And they support and they follow. No? At ganun din yung mga open spaces namin. We want them to go, but at the same time, we are limiting the numbers of people so that crowds are not formed. No? So,
Okay. Okay, well,
these
yeah.
are some of the steps that we've taken to make sure that we have a safe Christmas.
Okay, well,
And by the way, one thing also that
yeah.
we're doing is fireworks display. We will be having New Year's fireworks displays in some areas, but this will all be live streamed, so people do not have to go to the park to watch the fireworks display. Pwede po nilang panoorin sa FB live namin po yan. So some of these things will be done that way.
Ayun, malay mo makita pa yan sa mga international news programs like they always do. In any case, thank you very much, Congressman tuloy, Mayor Joy Belmonte. And, you're doing such a great job and God bless you.
God bless you, Cito. Happy Christmas and see you very soon.
Okay, Merry Christmas po. Yan po, si Mayor Joy Belmonte. Sabi nga nila, ayan, ngayong umiigi na at napapaganda na yung pag-handle kasi mahirap din yung apurado, ura-urada, pagkatapos ang bagsik ng dating, tapos biglang aatras. Si Mayor Joy, nung bago itong COVID-19, binakbakan ng kung sino-sino sa social media. And ngayon, ayan, silence of the lamb. They have a city bus system, which is even here in Pasig, no, dapat makuha namin si Mayor Vico Soto kasi dito rin po sa Pasig, merong bus system, merong mga padalang regalo, alalay sa mga pamilya. The young and the trained individuals, mayors we have, are actually now delivering a lot of public service, a public benefit, and yun po, supportahan natin sila, but more importantly, let's pray for all of them and pour blessings, prayers of blessings upon them. Anyway, we have to go for a break. When we come back, kausapin naman natin si Ginoong Tanjusay ng ano na nga ba yung organization na TUCP, Trade Union Congress of the Philippines, tungkol dito pa rin sa security of tenure. Hindi na natin natapos pero maybe he can give us a picture from the other side. Okay, we'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, medyo na-engrosso. I was engrossed reading the summary made by the team members of Agenda regarding this security of tenure bill that is currently doing the rounds in the House of Representatives, and they confidently believe that the president will sign it into law if it passes through the Senate. But in any case, let's bring in Alan Tanjusay, spokesperson, Trade Union Congress of the Philippines, to see the side or hear the side of labor. Alan, good morning.
Good morning, Cito, at sa ating mga kababayan. Magandang umaga.
Okay, medyo masalimuot itong proposed Security of Tenure Bill sa Kongreso. Ang tawag ay House Bill 7036. Ngayon, balita ko, nag-react na kayo yung mga makabayan block, bumitaw, kumalas, sabi ayaw namin yan, hindi tayo magkakasundo dyan. What is wrong or what is right with this proposed Security of Tenure Bill?
Well, what is right? This is very, very right for the employers and business owners, Cito, because it provides security of tenure for businesses and employers. This is not the kind of security of tenure for employees or for workers. This is not for them. This is for business and employers.
Okay, bakit mo nasabi yan? Kasi ang pagkakadinig ko kanina sa mga na-interview namin, si Congressman Aglipay and Congressman Enrico Pineda, binalanse lang nila. Hindi katulad ng unang version na masyadong one-sided daw, masyadong makakaliwa, ngayon binabalanse na raw nila. Bakit mo nasabing masyadong pabor sa mga employers at saka sa negosyo?
Well, Cito, let us not forget yung mega forces behind the issue. The mega force behind the issue is profit. The more that you can cut costs, the bigger your profit. So yan yung yan yung mega forces, yan yung pinakamalaking undercurrent behind this contractualization issue. At makikita mo naman, excuse me, Cito, for saying this, wala ho kaming masamang tinapay kay Congresswoman Aglipay and Congressman Enrico Pineda. They're just doing their jobs. But, you know, ang bottom line nito is business. It's a profitability. Bakit ito natin nasabi na this is a security of tenure for businesses and employers? Number one, kung maalala mo, Cito, nung unang mga panahon, maalala mo, may kabo, meron tayong tinatawag na job recruiter, no, mga job placement agencies. Nag-evolve sila dahil nakita nila medyo lucrative yung business. So ang ginawa nila, tinawag nila yung sarili nila bilang mga manpower service provider, manpower agencies, o mga labor contractors as of today. But with this provision, with the security of tenure for employers and businesses, ang contractualization ay nag-evolve siya bilang contractualization 4.0. Ito yung tinatawag namin na hybrid endo, itong security of tenure, not for employees but for employers. Because number one, dati silang kabo, dati silang recruiter, dati silang job placement agency, dati silang manpower service provider, dati silang mga manpower agency. Ngayon, with this bill, dinagdagan nila, ginawa pa nilang legitimate yung tinatawag nating manpower cooperatives, no? Inaalaw na nila ngayon dito through this bill yung manpower cooperative na magsusupply ng mga manggagawa sa mga manufacturing at iba pang mga paggawaan. Number two, ginawa nilang dati-dati ang probationary ay 6 months lamang, automatic after probationary, the employer will decide kung regular ka or reject ka after the probationary period. But this time around, with this bill, pwede nang i-extend unlimited yung tenure ng probationary employee. Number three, yung reliever at mga seasonal, pwede na rin unlimited yung kanilang tenure as reliever and seasonal. And then, they introduced the new concept of job contracting. Itong job contracting, kung ikukumpara mo siya sa labor contractors, yung mga labor contractors is a company. No? It's an enterprise of a group of people. But this one, ang job contracting is an enterprise of an individual person, one person, or two persons. So, tinatawag namin itong SOT bill na ito as hybrid endo o kaya ay contractualization 4.0 because dinamihan niya yung mga pamamaraan sito para
Sandali. Alan,
yung contractualization.
pasensya ka na, Alan. Medyo na-concern ako doon sa huling sinabi mo. Ngayon, ako, pwede akong mag-hire ngayon, kung mangontrata ngayon ng mga trabahante na hindi ko na kailangan magtayo ng kumpanya?
Hindi na. Ginagaya nila ngayon sito yung existing na tinatawag nating mga independent contractors. Ito yung mga...
Hindi ba parang illegal recruiter ka nun? Na kung hindi ka rehistrado, hindi ka kumpanya, etc., wala kang band, hindi ka pwedeng mag-akit at mag-recruit ng tao.
Oo, yan yung nilalagay nila sito. Nilalagyan nila ng mga qualifications. For example, meron kang qualifications kagaya ng mga manpower agencies. Meron kang kapital, meron kang band, meron kang opisina, meron kang equipment. Ganon din naman sa mga job contractors. But this one, ang nakalagay sa provisions, ako si employer. Papalitan ko lahat ng mga regular workers ko, kukuha ako ng mga independent contractors. So ganito yung magiging sitwasyon with this kind of SOT bill.
So pwedeng ako yung may-ari ng kumpanya, ikaw yung manager ko o isa ka sa mga executives ko, sasabihin ko na lang, Alan, ikaw na lang ang maging recruiter. So bali, kumbaga, no, pwede ring ma-shortcut ng mga kumpanya, pati yung mga manpower agency, pwede ring mawalan ng trabaho, ng negosyo.
Precisely, Cito. Yan yung grave concern ngayon ng mga manpower agencies. Dati, itong mga legal o above board at mga responsable na mga manpower labor contractors, ito ngayon ang concern nila. Kasi kahit isang tao lang, pwede siya mag-present ng trabaho. At any level, pwede sa rank and file, pwede sa manager, pwede sa supervisor, at pwede doon maging doon sa mga top management position level.
In other words, magiging in-house. Kasi yan ang naging in a different industry, sa media, many years back, about 20 years back, naging issue yan na kung saan ginawang in-house lahat ng mga network yung sa advertising related activity. Kumbaga, yung talent sa kanila, yung creative sa kanila, yung marketing sa kanila. So yung mga ad agency, bigla, teka, pinapatay nyo na kami. Dati magka-partner tayo. So you're saying that this is what's going to happen dito rin sa ginagawang security of tenure. This is not about giving security of tenure para dun sa mga contractual. It is actually giving leeway to direct hiring by companies na using their own people as recruiters.
Yes, at ang ginawa nila dito, kinombine nila yung mga kabo, yung kanilang function, yung kanilang character. Dati silang recruiter, manpower agency, service provider. Ngayon, dinagdagan nila ng job contracting, tapos yung probationary, yung reliever, yung seasonal, at higit sa lahat yung manpower cooperatives. Dito sa manpower cooperatives hindi ka pwedeng magtayo ng union dito. Hindi kayo pwedeng mag-collective bargaining dahil ginagamit nila yung konsepto ng kooperatiba na ikaw ay miyembro, ikaw ay partner ng kooperatiba. Therefore, hindi ka pwede magbuo ng union kasi wala kang kausap na negosyante.
Wait a minute. Yung magiging empleyado, yung reliever, yung seasonal worker ay magiging membro ng kooperatiba ng manpower.
Yes, it's possible. But what I'm trying to say is that yung reliever at yung seasonal, dati-dati ano lang yan 6 months o kaya 5 months. Ngayon Sito, nakalagay doon sa provisions, kahit kailan gustong maging seasonal, maging reliever, depende sa employer.
Okay. So in other words, imbis na gumanda, lumala pa.
Yes, correct. That's why we can say na ito po ay hybrid endo o kaya ay contractualization 4.0.
Okay.
That is ang mga manpower recruiter, job placement agencies, labor contractor. Ngayon with this bill dinagdagan nila, nilakihan nila yung management prerogative. Gumawa sila ng konsepto ng manpower cooperative, yung probationary, reliever, seasonal, pwede nang paulit-ulit yung kontrata at depende sa haba ng panahon na gusto ng mga employer. At higit sa lahat, itong pinag-usapan nating job contracting.
Okay, and medyo malupit yan. Napakalupit niyan. It is wicked, if I have to say it, because under the current situation, maraming tao napaka-desperado. They're desperate to find work, to earn a living, and kakapit sila sa patalim. Di bali ng isang taon na kung naka-job contractual, part-timer kesa sa wala. Ganyan ang mangyayari.
Yes, totoo yan, Sito. Forever silang mahirap. Itong mga endo at mga contractual workers, forever na mahirap. Walang asenso sa kanilang buhay. Nakakadena sa poverty wage. No? Dati-dati, isa lang yung kadena nila. With this bill, dinagdagan, naging 2 yung kadena. At higit sa lahat, walang seniority, walang promotion, walang union, walang collective bargaining agreement, at higit sa lahat, walang social protection benefits dahil nakatali ang lahat sa kontrata, sa contract service agreement between employer, yung principal business owner, employer, at yung job contractor o kaya yung labor contractor.
Okay, matanong ko lang, Alan, okay, I don't expect you to know the numbers because in this country, when it comes to statistics and data, it's guesswork. But assuming the millions of employees in the Philippines, ilang percent ang nasasakop? How many percent fall under this scheme, this contractual employment scheme that is disadvantageous to laborers and to employees, etc.? Ilang percent of how many million?
Well, ang gobyerno, siyempre, they're trying to manage the figures. They try to make it appear that it is not worse. Itong mga principal business employer, they are also doing the same, no? Trying to say na manageable, maliit, no? Pero based doon sa aming estimate, Cito, out of 43 million labor force ng bansa sa kasalukuyan, more than half of the 43 million are contractual workers, end of contract workers, seasonal workers, at mga part-time at mga apprentice at mga probationary workers.
Okay, anong klaseng buhay at pananaw? What kind of life and life vision do these contractual workers have? Kasi siyempre, ako, yung mga nakakausap ko, bibihira dahil ako naman, mga tao ko, permanente, I mean, for life. Bata pa kami, magkakasama na kami, no? Pero dyan sa labas, dyan sa mga ganyang lugar, anong klaseng buhay meron at pananaw itong mga contractual workers so that our audience can understand why endo? Because, you know, we politicize endo but we don't bring out the human side of endo, the reality of how it affects yung pananaw at buhay.
Well, Sito, clear, ang buhay ng mga endo at mga contractual workers ay precisely opposite ng mga regular at mga unionized workers. Yung mga unionized workers, nakakapagplano sila ng kanilang buhay. Nakakapagplano sila sa anong bahay ang kukunin nila, bungalow type, two stories type, no? Nakakapagplano sila sa pag-aaral ng kanilang anak. Saan ba natin i-enroll yung mga bata? Sa public school, sa middle school, o sa mga private school, o sa iba pang mga eskwelahan, no? Nakakapag-save, no? May savings ang mga regular at mga unionized workers. At higit sa lahat, every 3 years and 5 years, merong siguradong wage increase kasi nag-uusap at nag-negotiate ang mga employee at yung mga employer kung paano ba madadagdagan yung existing minimum wage o yung sahod, paano madadagdagan yung mga benefits, mga allowances ng mga manggagawa, at iba pang mga privileges na tinatanggap ng mga regular at mga unionized workers. So, ang buhay ng mga endo at mga contractual workers ay walang kasiguruhan, no? Yesterday, may nag-text sa akin ay humihingi ng tulong. Ang sabi niya ay, Sir, 14 years na ako dito sa kumpanya namin. Minimum wage pa rin ako. Walang promotion, walang seniority, walang asenso sa kanyang buhay.
Okay. May mga kilala ko sa mga napagtrabahuan ko na 10 years contractual. So, aside from not having savings, not having the ability or the capacity to plan, ano pang mga bagay? Kasi yung mga PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, SSS, siguro naman meron naman sila niyan, or voluntary member ka ba, etc., Alan?
Well, batay sa existing na endo law, kung ikaw ay contractual at endo workers, regular ka doon sa iyong manpower service provider. Pero the problem is, ang manpower service provider ay nakikipagkontrata sa principal business owner. No? Meron siyang kontrata for a certain period, 3 years, 5 years, na mag-provide siya ng labor dito sa kumpanyang ito, sa isang malaking department store, for example. Ang pinag-uusapan dito ay kontrata. Magkano yung labor price, magkano yung presyo ng yung labor na binebenta mo. So in this case, may mga instances na wala talagang mga PhilHealth, walang SSS, walang Pag-ibig, at iba pang mga social protection benefits o safety nets. Kasi nga nakatali na yung presyo ng kontrata. So kapag nagkawindang-windang along the way, ang unang masasakripisyo dyan ay yung mga sahod ng mga manggagawa.
Pero Alan, ang tanong ko, kasi alam mo, yung sahod, sige, naintindihan ko yun. May mga gwardiya tumatanggap 300 pesos o 250, etc. Tanggap ko yan, realidad na natin yan. Pero parang ang hirap yata tanggapin na no one is actually going to make sure or ensure coverage, SSS, PhilHealth, kahit na yun ng dalawa. Kasi sabi naman ng PhilHealth, universal, everybody is covered. Pero pag nandoon ka na at may sakit ka na, magtatanungan, medyo walang information, walang data, hindi ba illegal yan? Hindi ba ninyo binibring up yan sa kinaukulan na, teka, yung endo, isang bagay yon. Pero because of endo, walang SSS, walang PhilHealth, etc. Parang illegal yun.
Precise. Tama ka. Talagang that's a worst form of contractualized labor o slave labor scheme dito sa ating bansa. Walang SSS, walang Pag-ibig, walang PhilHealth. Ang kasalukuyang mechanism kasi ay merong mekanismo ang SSS, Pag-ibig at PhilHealth to go after doon sa mga employer na hindi nagre-remit ng mga monthly contributions ng kanilang mga manggagawa. Pero ang nangyayari, nire-require ng mga ahensyang ito na mayroong affidavit, mayroong complaint, at mayroong taong nagre-reklamo. Pero Sito, paano ka magrereklamo? Paano mo uubusin mo yung araw na yon sa pagpunta sa SSS, Pag-ibig at PhilHealth, sa pag-asikaso na magreklamo instead of maghanap pa na lang ng trabaho o kaya kumita ka
Maghanap
para
buhay.
sa araw na yon.
Kanya
So
nga yung...
mahirap yung bureaucracy, yung requirement nila na kailangan mayroon talagang complainant. At kailangan tapusin ng complainant yung proseso bago makumpleto yung complaint at ma-materialize yung complaint action ng mga mamamayan sa gobyerno.
Okay, my last question, Alan, yung sinasabi mo nga, yung kailangan may complainant, kanya nga puno lagi yung opisina ni Rapi Tulfo eh. Commission, hindi ko alam kung paano niya pinagkakasya araw niya. Puro na lang ganyan ang complaint kay Rapi. In any case, last question ko, so what are you planning to do about this? I mean, if you are standing your standing your ground na itong new new Security of Tenure Act is further legitimizing the rights of the employer to the disadvantage of the employees, contractual employees, what are you guys going to do about it?
Well, right now, inaabangan namin yung bicameral conference committee meeting. Doon kami mag-introduce ng aming bill, anti-contractualization, anti-endo bill. Meron kaming sariling version, pero noong mga nakaraang buwan, nung inihain namin sa proseso ng Kongreso, nilapa yung aming bill, no? Yung aming kulay asul na anti-endo bill ay paglabas ng third reading, hindi na siya kulay asul, kundi iba't ibang kulay na, ibang interest na ang sumakay at nag-iba ng karakter at figura nito. But inabangan namin Sito yung bicameral sa conference committee meeting, yung pagtatagpuin yung Senate version at yung House version. Ikalawa, of course, we go straight to the principal, kay Pangulong Duterte. Ngayon pa lang ay nagbababala na nagbibigay na kami ng fair warning kay Pangulo na mag-ingat siya dahil ang sasabihin ng mga proponent ng bill na ito ay i-address nito yung contractualization at subukang tagpuin yung pangako ng Pangulo na wakasan ng endo at contractualization dito sa ating bansa, when in fact it is not. This bill is a security of tenure for business. This is not a security of tenure for employees and workers.
Okay, well, Alan, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Medyo sayang lang at choppy-choppy talaga kanina yung signal ng dalawang congressman. Sana ay napaliwanagan din, to be fair. But yeah, I guess that's the beauty of our political system and legislative system. Pagdating sa BICAM conference, sa bicameral conference where the Senate and the Congress meets, dyan magkakalabasan ng galing, ng talento at ng baho. And we hope that what comes out, kung makakasakit lang o kung makakasama, patay na lang yung bagong batas na yan kasi walang silbi. But kung makakatulong, ay sana mapagtulong-tulungan ninyong lahat at hindi magkagulpihan. Thank you very much, Alan.
We will do that, Asito. Thank you and good morning.
Okay. Yan po si Alan Tanjusay, spokesperson of the Trade Union Congress of the Philippines. And as much as we wanted to give a lot of airtime to Congressman Enrico Pineda and to Congressman Michael Aglipay, unfortunately their setup was not matching with our system. And yun nga po, no, we are just hoping that at the end of the day, when the Security of Tenure Act actually rolls out, it will be a bill that takes into consideration yung realidad ng mga empleyado, lalo na yung mga arawan, yung mga contractual. Kasi you cannot call yourselves, fair, wise, if you do not sit down with the very people you are trying to protect. And I'm not saying this addressing this to anyone out there, no? Kasi marami na pong nagkwento, nagsalita tungkol sa endo bill, pero at the end of the day, end of story. Kasi ganun pa rin, same old, same old. In any case, thank you for joining us today. Happy birthday to Eric Pineda. At sana humaba pa ang buhay mo. And thank you for all of you who joined us this morning. Oh, by the way, hindi ko nakita ito sa aking summary, pero nabalitaan ko po via Facebook na yung alamat, yung alagad ng pagtatanim at agrikultura at kabuhayan, si Ginoong Zac Sarian, ay pumanaw na raw. And ito po ay nakita ko lang sa Facebook. And I have had a few conversations with Mr. Zarian. He wrote an agriculture-related column for the longest time in the Manila Bulletin. And yung kanya pong napakasimpleng style na pagkikwento o pagsusulat sa Manila Bulletin was the source, a fountain of wisdom, knowledge, and inspiration for many Filipinos. Bago pa nauso yung plantito-plantita, si Zac Sarian na ang guro sa mga ganyan. And we mourn for his loss, and we pray that his family will somehow manage to get through this. And we would like to thank Zac Sarian for his service to the country as a journalist and as a believer of agriculture. May God bless you and your family. Well, that's a program for today, agenda for today. God bless all of you. Hope to see you tomorrow, God willing, kasi alam nyo po, nowadays, wala na tayong sigurado. God, we are not promised tomorrow. It's all in the hands of God. So today, make the most of what you have, make the most of who you're with, and always try to be a blessing to someone. God bless you. I'm Cito Beltran. Have a good day.